Dumas here. This is part 3 of 4 of the interior. Sorry it took me a little while. I was doing a couple other things, kind of seeing where I wanted to go with this, did my own thing with it, and figuring out what I could give to you guys. So it looks a little bit different, as you can see. There's a couple different things here. Pretend these edges aren't here, but where we're going with this tutorial, you should be able to make a line between the two if you already haven't started doing your own thing, which I totally encourage, and I think you should be doing your own thing. But we'll basically be getting into the texturing and making it look detailed from here. We've already made it look pretty detailed. You realize how you can make these objects. The whole purpose of this tutorial was to show you building the things that will not be moved. For example, this railing right here. This would be its own model. We'll get into that because we're going to have to keep in mind this level right here is still a model, no matter what. It's the same as creating an animation character. It's still going to be a model. It'll be inanimate, but it's a model that you can collide with. That's basically what we're doing with this, but low polygons. We've gone through that already. We've cut things out. There's not really a whole heck of a lot of rendering. What we're going to get into is the little method that I've created that I've noticed other game creators use but have not used in Sketchup itself. This is a little more tedious. If somebody wanted to create a Ruby script for this, it would be great, since I don't know how to Ruby script. But where we're going to go is P, push and pull. We've been doing the 1 meter thing, so 1 meter. And we're going to drop down. It's going to be a step. T for tape, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 3 meters, 3 meters, 3 meters, all the way down. And then L for line. We're going to find that intersecting point. It's probably going to be right on the end point, I'm imagining, but maybe not. Yeah, perhaps it is. Alright, so we're going from there over, same thing, your intersecting point with the X. Zoom in using your scroll wheel. Intersecting point. And one more for the middle. Okay, perhaps one more. I'm gonna go along with that. And if you've done it correctly, when you press P and scroll over, it should be separate. So same thing, double click, 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 double click. Okay. So we got a nice little staircase right here going down to this wall. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to press F for offset. We're going in to right about wherever. I mean, at this point I'm just kind of winging it. We were doing dimensions. Now it's whatever looks good for you, or whatever you see down here. L for line before you do the push and pull. Go straight down with the blue. Make sure it's on the blue axis. Press E for eraser. Should have mentioned that in the other tutorials, but as you watch, you're going to pick up new nifty little tricks. And we are going to bring this in. Or out, I should say. There we go. So now that we've done that, and we're looking at this model, we're going to go ahead up to Edit, Delete Guides. Yeah, doesn't look bad at all. Now we have our grand staircase. the next step is we're going to go ahead and we are going to press B for bucket. Materials. List mode. There we go. You can go through this large thumbnails. That's what I wanted. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into, I want to have this like a tile. So we're going to choose our tile. Let's go with ceramic natural. See what that looks like. Okay, here's our next little challenge here. This isn't nearly as big as what I wanted it to be, so we're going to click our select tool. Click once on your face, right click, texture, position, and we are going to blow this up to an acceptable level for what I think it should be. And that's pretty good for me. This is a little bit off right here, so I'm going to press P for push and pull. And I'm just going to move in that face right there. Alright, now it definitely looks good for me. B for bucket, and I'm going to press Alt to get a little eyedropper. Take an exact copy of that, let go of it, and just fill up down the stairs. Same thing for the other side. And it should match perfectly. Beautiful. Alright. And we're going to do the same for this right here. Now, if you're doing basically all one texture, this is going to cover the majority of the room. What you can do is just press Shift, makes a little L key, and you can click on any texture you want. We can click on this one, it's not going to do anything because that's the texture we're currently using. This is the same texture, all of this. You only have one texture right now, but if there was another texture, say this, and I know it kind of looks blank right now, but it's because we got to resize it. See how they're all kind of like that? Alt, eyedropper, pick up on that, Shift, and now it's just changed it over to that. Okay. So now that we've changed everything completely over and turned everything upside down here, we now have one texture, a one-textured room. We can texture this as much as we want, but again, this is just a tutorial. This looks pretty good right here. However, you can't resize curved walls. So what you have to do is you click on a flat surface, you do your resizing, right-click, texture, position, you resize it to the size that you want it to be, click off it, B for bucket, Alt for your eyedropper, and then just fill it up around the room. This looks good for the walls. And there we go. Let's use these walls as the same right here. This right here, P, push and pull. Let's move this out. I just pressed escape real quick. Right here is two separate faces, E. This is our fine tuning. Same thing here, unless, although, yeah, you know what, press P. Let's drop this down a little bit. Make it look a little more detailed. These walls look pretty good. So now we have two textures right here. Okay. Oh, we got to do wood for this one. So we go down, wood, lumber. That looks pretty darn good to me. Okay, just going around. You get the basic idea, just clicking on it. Now if you press shift again, it's going to go ahead and this has the same texture as this. So it's going to color all that same texture right there. Remember once again to do the insides. All the way. Okay. So now basically what we're doing is we're just cleaning it up real quick. We're making this a real quick edit. And once we've done that, then we can go ahead and do the second part of actually the Unity part of making this look detailed. And then changing these textures into materials so when you use them again, you don't have to go through all this wonderful nonsense right here. It's nonsense, all of it. It's just nonsense. But it's still a lot quicker than trying to figure out a pattern in Blender. And this doesn't look too bad. And that's why I said definitely use Sketchup for your building purposes. So file, we're going to save it. I just saved it as, my normal tutorial project here. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to click on File, Export, 3D Model. Oh wait, hold on, before we even do that, we're going to go into Tools, or Window, Model Info. Go into Statistics, Materials, 5. We're only using 2. Purge unused. Materials, 3. Why is there 3 materials? Oh, because of this one back here. Your negative side, as I used to call it. And that's what you'll be able to see the inside, but if you look through here, you're going to be able to see the outside. You'll see that in a second. So, purge unused, fix problems. No problems found. So, we're good. Now you go ahead and press File, Save, File, Export, 3D Model. And we're going to export it underneath Document 123456, Export. See something popping up real quick, or maybe you just did it. You also, if you've looked on my other tutorials, like I've given people time to check out the other things that I've done. I told them to download the FBX converter. This is the full version of SketchUp. If I wanted to export 3D model, I could actually choose FBX. I don't. The exportation for this into Unity itself is just, it's a headache. Just exporting the DAE or DEA, DAE, whatever it is file is a lot simpler. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot less of a headache. And you can do this on the free version. So, yeah. No use springing $560 unless you're going to make a commercialized game. If you're using this, then you're in trouble because, yeah, SketchUp will come after you, or Trumbull, or whatever it is. Okay, so now we have this. We have our DAE file. This is where it's going to be exported. Wherever you drag and drop it into the screen is where it's going to be exported as your FBX. Embed media, convert, 614 to 379. That's pretty good for a small model, 379 KB, especially if it's a level itself. Bring this up. And we are going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to drag it. This is just a little game that I've created. No anything imported, actually. So now we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Generate colliders, swap UVs, generate light map UVs. There we go. We're going to drag and drop this. We're going to apply it. And we are going to look around this model. Okay, so this is what we've got inside Unity now. Not too bad. It's kind of like what we saw in Sketchup. It does look pretty detailed for the most part, but it could get more detailed. There really should be a roof on here, and we can add detail into that too. But first, let's just take this and let's start editing some materials here. So this wall right here, what we have is this. So when you click on this, it'll say, alright, this is where this is, blah blah blah, be happy. Come down, back into your desktop. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to create a normal map, or it's a type of bump map. So bump mapping, going back to my bump mapping tutorial, we're going into GIMP. GIMP2. When we created the file through SketchUp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and exported it to a DAE file, we actually created a whole nother folder right here with our textures, the very ones that were put into Unity. So we need to make bump maps for all these little guys. And then we need to reverse the colors in some of them. This one should be alright. Wait, this one's higher. Dark is low. Okay, yeah, this one will work. So we'll start off with this. So, one, open with, paint. The almighty paint, as I call it. And then we're basically just going to file, save as a PNG file. Underneath desktop, new ceramic neutral, alpha. I like to call it an alpha map just because I'm cool like that. Exit out of this, exit out of this. Go back down to our new ceramic tile alpha. Drag it and drop it. Come up here. Go to your, which one was it? Colors, I believe. Or no, it was image. Transform, mode, grayscale. There we go. Image, mode, grayscale. Click on it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Image, mode. I mean, you can go ahead and you can change the colors and your layer options, make this a little bit darker. We're just going to keep it how it is for right now. So file, and we are going to go into export, and we are exporting it into a PNG. Export. Yep, replace it. Why not? Click on everything. Should be a good time. Export. Yeah, obviously you got to go a little bit more into this, but I'm just showing you how to do this quickly. You can explore this yourself. I'll just show you how to import things into SketchUp and give you a basic idea. Alright, so now we have new ceramic tile, neutral alpha. Let's go ahead and let's see how that looks in Unity. So right here, this is underneath end caps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, these are the only two that popped up. Here's your alpha. And we're going to do alpha from grayscale. Apply. Texture type, normal map. Bumpiness, yeah, apply. There we go. Now we've made it a normal map. And initio level. Yes, but we want to make this, instead of sharp, smooth. That's a little bit better. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at our tile, our nice tile floor here that we've just thrown in here using the presets from Sketchup. Click on your tile floor, double click it so that the only thing that's highlighted is just the floor and those textures itself. You're going to go into, I want this to be bump specular because I want it to be shiny. Shininess right here. You can see the shininess kind of glowing off it. You bring down the shiny and it's all just kind of get one color. Okay. So now that we got that, we're going to drag and drop our texture into the instance, as I call it, that it is. So let's choose our instance. This is the texture. This is your normal map. Drag and drop your normal map. And now we've got pretty darn detailed. However, notice right here, well, that's because we didn't color it in SketchUp. This was all still the same color. So that'll be your little mission. Make everything all bump specular, all shiny, and then we'll make it non-shiny from there. But make sure that the textures that you want, like see right here, this should have been the same wood texture as this right here. But it's not. So that's your next mission right there. And then you can throw a guy in there and you can walk around. What we're going to cover next is putting rooms together. And yeah, basically cutting it out so that our frame rate stays up. And I'll get a little bit more into that. Do the same thing with this texture or whatever texture you choose, but you should only have 2 textures in this room right now. So now that we've got that, yeah. And if you remember how to add a ceiling, maybe use the offset and yeah, do layers, but make the layers smaller going up. I don't know, do whatever you want. So that's basically what you do with that to make a level look pretty detailed using the combination of Unity and SketchUp, or SketchUp and Unity. So, enjoy.